Now it's time for today's perspective. And what do the following people have in common? Joe Biden, Bill Clinton and Ivanka Trump. Well, of course, the White House does spring to mind, but there's another connection in that they've all been made up, as in had their makeup done by my guest on the programme today. Audrey Lefèvre has led what can only be described as a fascinating life from growing up in northern France in a bit of a difficult childhood. She worked her way into the corridors of power, becoming a makeup artist at the White House. Her life now analysed by herself, if you like, in her book La Confidante, and she joins me now here on set. Great to have you with us on the programme today.
Hi,
Thanks
everyone.
for coming in.
Thank
You were talking just a moment ago about the fact that you have worked, in fact, at the White House Correspondents dinner yourself. You know the hotel well. I mean, it must have been very shocking when you
It was
heard the
shocking
news.
when I woke up on Sunday morning, yeah. But, you know, it's part of America too. And that's what I wrote in my book. You have to deal with this, with the guns all the time. So, and I just want to say something that it's part of their culture. That's what we forget. It's part of that. It's not about having a gun to kill people. It's about protecting their family, their land, their territory. So it's the view of the guns in America is very different. But obviously, it's what we saw is very shocking, and it shouldn't be allowed to.
And I mean, presumably knowing the levels of security that are involved in this kind of thing. I mean, it's quite incredible, the level of security that's already in place, but also that somebody could manage to breach it.
Yeah, it's impossible. This guy would reach the president. Impossible. There's different level of security, and he reached only the first level. So, no, it's something that cannot happen.
So you call it we call it an attempt on his life, but in reality, there was a lot further he would have had to have gone.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your book then. And start at the beginning with you. I mean, life began not perhaps so easily. Born in France, you grew up in Africa then battled anorexia. You had a serious fall as well. I mean, it was not easy, was it, early life?
No, it was not easy, but also I feel like I had a great childhood, even though I had to adapt all the time. I did 8 schools in 7 years, so that was the tricky part. But at the end, I feel like it helped me also to adapt in this job at the White House, because I had to adapt to any kind of event, any different personality. And at the end, I'm very grateful to have lived this childhood with my father and mother. It was very different, but I loved it. And I'm very grateful for that.
And having that fall and also suffering from anorexia, how did that affect you?
Well, I was model, and it became something like almost natural. It's a disease, like it's something in your brain, and you feel like you can control it, which you can't. But I've learned also that it's not about the beauty, it's not about the body, it's a whole thing. And losing weight, I had more contract for my job, so I was gaining more money of it. So it's a kind of a cycle, but you have to stop it, and only you can do that.
Well,
nobody can help you.
I mean, you managed to in the end. I mean, how on earth did you
Because of love.
Because of love, exactly. It sort of turned around, didn't it, when you met the love of your life, a kayaker at the 2004 Athens Olympics.
Yes, 7 times world champion. And I met him during the Olympics in Athens, and yeah, we started a life. I couldn't have a job because I was following him all around the world, even in Australia, where we lived. And it was fantastic for 10 years. But when we arrived in the US, I said to my husband at the time, I want to work again, and I want to do this job. So that's what I did.
And how did the makeup come about? How did that even
start?
Well,
it went during a photo shoot that I did when I was a model, and I was working with this big photographer in Paris, who was like the photographer of Sarkozy. And I don't know, there was something, they were pushing me, the makeup artist, she did something on me that I made realize that, oh my God, I can be this woman too. I'm not only a girl, I can be this woman, that woman. So that changed everything. And I wanted to do that, offering that for all the people too. Like being confident about themselves. That was very important for me.
And it obviously worked because you finished up working at the White House.
Yes.
How did that come about?
It was crazy, you know, step by step. I reached out a company and they said, like, we're coming to DC in 8 months, but we're not ready yet. And when they finally reached out to me and said, we're going to gather a team of 3 makeup artists and 3 hairstylists, and we want you in the team. It was for the inauguration of Trump in 2017. But I had no idea that I was supposed to work with the family. I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna get a big clientele, which was my goal. And when they told me, like, you have to go that date, that time, you ask for this person. And when I went there, I finally realized that the president and Melania Trump was there. Right. So I realized that it was for the family. And then we followed them during the whole protocol in the White House, which was crazy.
I was going to say, what is that like? I mean, being at the heart of that, being involved, even to the small extent you were involved, yes. Just being in that process must be incredible. I
mean, the amount of pressure, it's beyond what we think. But after that week, I said to myself, you cannot be afraid of anything now. Because what you lived this past 4 days, it's beyond everything. Yeah, and the amount of security, the amount of pressure, like people telling you, be careful, you cannot mess up. Those pictures are going to be seen all around the world. The portraits of the family are going to be hung in the White House, so you cannot mess up this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do my best. So I was very concentrated to do the best job that I could.
And correct me if I'm wrong, you haven't actually done Donald Trump himself, have you?
No.
You've done Ivanka Trump. But
yes.
I mean, what is it like
the whole family.
When you're standing there with your makeup brushes and the person is in front of you and you've got to, go for it? I mean, do you just treat them as anyone else, or?
You can feel so much emotion because you're so close. You can see in their eyes what they are feeling. You can see if they are sweating, if they are under stress, or if they are panicking about something. Or I had this situation with a senator, a woman. She was completely breaking down because she had to do a TV show with the First Lady. And she was yelling to everyone. She was under stress. So at that point, I had to stop working with her and say, look, why are you doing it if you don't want to do it? And she was, but very calmly. Those people, you have to be very calm. Otherwise, it's the pressure taking over and the emotions are completely upside down, so it doesn't help anyone. So I try to all the time calm the emotion that they were feeling.
And presumably putting it into a book now, La Confidante, yes. I mean, how difficult is that, bearing in mind, of course, that presumably there are lots of things you can't talk about?
I had to select. I had to make choices. Of course, there's many things that I would never said because it's part of my job too, to be discreet. But what I've said in this book is more like what I felt about those people. They are still a human being. I've never been on the side of the Democrats or the Republicans. I took everyone around me and tried to deal with everything that they had to deal with. Yeah. So that was the most important. And learning from them, the courage, like the hard work they are putting in their job, that's what I said in my book. It's beyond everything.
And who are the people that stand out? I mean, presumably some people, you make them up and they don't say a word. Others, do they open up? Do they chat? Yes. Do they ask about you? Do they sort of, make you feel like a human being and not just like a machine who's there?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Who?
All of them. They have been very welcoming. And again, my way of approaching them was very, I guess, generous and welcoming. So they were ready to open them. Yeah, they were ready to open their feelings. And the first question that I was asking them, it's not, hey, how are you today? It was, hey, how do you feel today? Yeah. And that changed a lot. Okay. Yeah. We don't ask them this. How do you feel today? How do I feel? I feel pretty good. They were surprised by this question.
So you can make a connection with them even in such a short
that's what I wanted. Yeah, to make a connection.
Well, there you go. The book is called La Confidante. It's out now. You're hoping it's going to be translated in English as well.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
We'll see.
At the moment, just in French. Audrey Lefèvre, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Talking to us today on the programme.